Hello students and welcome to Government. We're going to take a look at essay activity Boss Tweed from Unit 4, American Democracy Governed by the People. In this activity, you're going to look at this picture and you're going to kind of analyze the picture. You're going to look at some of the history about Boss Tweed, which also was known as William Tweed. And then you're going to answer A, B, C question down at the bottom. But let's take a look at the overall. Here in the prompt it talks about this 19th century political cartoon by Thomas Nast illustrated the corruption that could occur by political machines in the political party system. This particular cartoon refers to William Tweed and his cronies who controlled New York City politics. Okay, here's what you're supposed to do. Investigate who William Tweed was and how the Tweed ring influenced politics. Then answer the question below as an essay. It's going to be a 5-paragraph essay. Remember, 5 paragraphs. A 5-paragraph essay has 5 sentences in each paragraph, so 5. I'm going to go over how to write a 5-paragraph essay real quick, give you a general thing on how to do that at the end of this. So the next thing, after analyzing this picture a little bit, you're going to notice that they're all kind of standing in a circle and they're pointing at each other. They're pointing to the guy to the right of them. And basically when things came down, they all started blaming each other. And it says, who stole the people's money? Question mark, do tell. And then this was done by New York Times by Thomas Nast. And then 'twas him. And then it was him. Okay? So that's just kind of an idea as to how this Thomas Nast used cartoons to bring out the corruption of this guy Thomas Nast in his Tammany ring from the Hall Tammany Hall, which you're going to do some research on. Okay, so now the question that you're supposed to answer in your essay is down here at the bottom, and it says, A, how did William Tweed garner votes to be elected to the U.S. House of Representatives? Basically, what did he do to get himself elected? What was criminal about what he did to get himself elected? The second part is, B, how did the political cartoon by Thomas Nast play a role in the prosecution of Boss Tweed? Okay, what did these cartoons, because this wasn't the only cartoon he did, he did several cartoons. What was the cartoon that he did, and how did it affect the outcome? How did he get him arrested? The last one that we're going to do is C. What was Tammany Hall? Okay, they're called the Tammany Ring, but what was Tammany Hall? Do some research, and in your essay, you're going to explain what Tammany Hall was. Now, in this activity, it does have a D. I'm not going to have you do D. I looked over it, and I've decided that D is not something that I'm going to have you do, so don't include D in your essay. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some resources. So I'm going to have a word, I'm going to put it up here, all the resources, so you can pause it at that section and you can look. All these resources, all you need to do is Google William Tweed and then roll it up and look for these resources that I gave you. Like one of them is going to be the New York Times. Look for newyorktimes.com and you'll be able to find it because it's all on the same page. So just all you need to do is William Tweed, Google it, and then once you bring it up, it should be all on the same page. So here are the documents. This is the main one I want you to look at. This one here is William Tweed, and then it's an article that just talks about what he did, and you're going to find most of your information here. It will answer all these questions, or it should answer all these questions here. And then down at the bottom, it has a biography. This biography is really about Thomas Nast. It doesn't talk about the biography of Tweed. But if you go to the next one that I've given you is this one, U.S. History, and it's Boss Tweed delivered to authorities. This is about when he got arrested. It goes a little more into detail about why he was arrested and gives you just another perspective of why he was arrested. It's actually a very short article, and here's the URL. Here's the information that you can put at the bottom to quote your source, so that you can show your sources, because I want to make sure that you're doing your sources. The next one is, you don't really need to read this one. This one is kind of for fun. It's very interesting. This is how he got arrested, and it talks a little bit more about him and what he did. It's got some decent information. Now, this last one here is really for fun. The prison escape of former Representative William Boaz Tweed of New York. He actually escapes from prison, and they end up picking him up in Spain after he gets on a ship and escapes. And it's kind of an interesting little story of how they worked with Spain to bring him back. So if you want a little more information, it's not really something that needs to be included into the essay, but it is interesting information anyway. So let me give you the sites. Here's the sites. I'll get them a little bigger for you. All right, so copy these sites down. Here's the point. I would pause it and make sure, or come back to this. So I would pause it here and then go and Google those sites and come back, pause it, Google those sites, come back until you get open up a new tab, get all the sites up there, and make sure that you have them, and then go ahead and finish watching the video. So now I'm going to move into the section where I'm going to talk about the 5-paragraph essay. I've talked to most of you about the 5-paragraph essay in the past, and the way I do it's real simple. It's easy as this. You have 5 paragraphs. First paragraph is going to be introduction. You're going to introduce the concept of politics. I would do that using this back here, using the previous lesson, which will be lesson 2 from unit 4. Lesson 2 from unit 4, it talks about the evolution of the two-party system, Republicans, Democrats. It talks about how they evolved. Okay, and so what we want to do is take a look at the period that deals when Thomas Nast and Boaz Tweed were in office at the time. And you'll look at that and you'll put that information in there. So this is what I would use to start my essay out with. I would go to, I believe it's the third-party system. It's either the third party or the fourth party. I apologize. Excuse me. It's the fourth party system. Double check me. But on the fourth party system, I would write in there how it evolved. That's how you introduce it. And you introduce it as how it evolved is how it allowed men like Tweed to get into power. Then what you'll do, that's be your introduction. Then your body paragraph will be A. Your prompt on A, how did William Tweed garner votes to be elected to the U.S. House of Representatives? 5 sentences answer that question. Then your next paragraph is going to be, how did this political cartoon by Thomas Nast play a role in the prosecution of Boaz Tweed? That's going to be paragraph 3. And then you'll do 5 sentences explaining in the minimum of 5 sentences. You can do 6, 7, 8. Okay? Then the last one, what was Tammany Square? That'll be your 4th. What was Tammany Square? You'll explain what and do it in 5 sentences. The other thing is you do your introduction and then you do A and B. That would be a 2 and 3 paragraph. You can put B and C together, and that would give you 3 paragraphs for your body. Then you'll do your summary. That'll be your 5th paragraph. Do your summary, or you could turn it into 6 paragraphs, do 1 on each A, B, C, D, and then summarize it. But you have to have the minimum of 5 paragraphs in order to get an A on this, in order to get a decent grade on this. And I always want everybody to get an A. If you have any questions, please, you can email me at aboaz@peptech.org, or call the school phone number, or some of you have my cell phone number, or you can reach me on the PLP. You can do the messaging on the PLP. Send that to me. I might get it the next day. Some of you that get on during the day, you can do it through GoGuardian, because we monitor that from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And just communicate to me if you have any questions on this. Also, go to Facebook. We have the videos on Facebook, and we have other videos on Facebook that are helpful to you. Go to Facebook and like us there. We've only got just a few kids that have gone on to like us. Go in there and like us there, and you can look at videos and things like that. Many teachers are uploading their videos there too. You guys be safe, stay healthy, and call me if you need me.